Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Legacy Farm, the podcast. I'm your host, Jace Young, and today's topic of discussion is going to be about the gap that exists between farmers and their bankers. Now, guys, inside of Legacy Farmer, one of the common things that we do is we run a weekly community call. Now, on those calls, you've heard me talk about it in other podcast episodes before, but that's the one place where our entire network and community can come and bring any problems or challenges, whether that's dealing with family or financial or taxes or their banker or whatever that may be, right? It's that one place that our network and community can always come to talk about those things and literally have zero judgment from anybody on the call, because everybody on that call and everybody in our community, we're spread all across the US, and everybody has challenges, right? So what's crazy and what I've learned over the years working with all these customers and just kind of building Legacy Farmer is it's crazy how different the operations are from, one side of the country to the other. But what's also crazy is that the problems are the same. Now, what do I mean by that? Everybody deals with financial challenges or banking challenges. Everybody's dealing with tax challenges. Everybody's dealing with government challenges. Everybody's dealing with family challenges, right? The problems that we face ultimately are the same, which is just, again, what makes the group so valuable, because everybody is going, moving forward in this journey of life and business together. And the reality is it's constantly changing, right? There's never going to be a one answer to a problem, because business is changing every single year. So, and I don't have to really tell you that. But anyways, last week on our call, we went through and just had another discussion around, making sure all of our customers have their numbers organized in a way to where they are presenting their information in an accurate way, but also presenting it in a way to their banker to where it literally answers any potential question that the banker could have. Now, in order to do that effectively, though, you really have to understand what the bank is looking at and how they're making decisions. And really, when they look at your numbers, how are they determining how your loan should be structured or what your interest rate should be and things like that. Now, guys, I mean, you've heard this from me before. I try to expose everything that the bank could be looking at, right? Because at the end of the day, yes, I want to make sure, banks, they want to find great customers, but I care more about the farmer, AKA you, right? Or the business owner there on the other end. Because at the end of the day, our cost of capital, AKA your interest rate, has a major impact on your business and the overall profitability and everything there as well. So we have to understand what the bank is looking at so that we know how to position and ultimately present our numbers from our end so that we can make sure we're in a position to get the absolute best interest rate and just build a really solid relationship there as well. When I first started Legacy Farmer, I kind of look at the bank as the enemies there, and that's just that was the wrong way for me to look at it back then. There are some banks, I completely agree with some of you. There are some banks out there that are really bad banks, and they definitely are the enemy. But a majority of them out there are trying to do good work and good business with their customers. But there's just so many gaps in the industry. I have told people that, yes, there's a massive problem with farmers and not knowing their numbers, but there's also just as big of a problem on the ag banking side of the industry as well, to where we have young bankers coming in that don't understand ag, right? And that's what I'm talking about. There's a gap that exists there between farmers and ranchers and ultimately their bankers as well. So last week on the call, we're getting into a part of the year here where everybody's kind of gearing up for their line of credit renewal and going in and meeting with their bankers and getting tax returns and everything done there. So we're having a lot of discussions here lately just on how to structure these numbers. And the thing is for our members that have been inside of our community here for a few years here, that they know what needs to happen, right? But the thing is, though, is when you come into Legacy Farmer and things like that, and we built out a software called Farmer Metrics, and we built that with our customers really the past 3 to 4 years. We're over 100 versions into that. And with that software, I wanted to keep it super simple and create something that people would actually use, right? So again, there's tons of softwares out there, especially in the ag industry, that you could use, but so many of them have so many features that they're too complex that people literally don't use them, right? And that's what I've experienced with our customers as well when they tell me about other products and softwares they're using. That's why with Farmer Metrics, I want to keep it super simple that literally tells our customers and their banks the key information they need to know to make decisions and then move forward. That's it, right? So in doing that, though, one of the things that we have our customers do is they go through and they put together monthly cash flow projections. And so all of our customers, for the most part, already have their 2024 cash flow projections done and complete. And now every single month here, as they get through that month, they're taking their actuals from their bookkeeper and they're plugging those numbers back into their cash flow. So we had our projections of what we thought we were going to have as far as income and expenses go for January, February, March, right? Clear throughout the end of the year. And then we come back in and we put in our actuals there as well. Now, the thing is, guys, is when that's a really important piece here, right? For you to understand here as far as the gap that exists between farmers and bankers, because most bankers are only getting an annual cash flow projection from their borrowers, aka you or the farmer. The problem with this is when you put together just an annual cash flow, think about how many things happen from January 1st to December 31st, right? And you literally may have just listed out or drawn out some numbers on a piece of paper there and presented that to your banker as your annual cash flow. If your banker accepted that, guys, that's a massive red flag. Just so you know, these banks and some of the lending standards that they don't have in place there, as far as like accepting that, as far as a cash flow projection goes, that's just a huge amount of risk on the bank. And think about it from their terms. If you were in their seat and you were loaning millions of dollars to different people, would you accept literally a cash flow projection, an annual cash flow projection written on a piece of paper that was just done in the back of your truck in the parking lot before you walked into the bank? Probably not, right? You want to protect your money there a little bit better and protect your investment there a little bit better. But I kid you not, a lot of banks out there, they're accepting that. Right now, from the farmer's perspective though, you should never be that relaxed with your numbers, right? We don't want to guess here, guys. There's literally millions and millions of dollars going through your accounts every single year. And we need to make sure we're on top of the numbers, right? So that you can make sound financial decisions, because it only takes one bad year of business and of running your numbers inside your farm operation. It only takes one bad year of losses to literally wipe out several years or even decades of work. Okay. And I've seen that over and over and over again. So that's why when it comes to your cash flow projections, you want to make sure that you're detailed on a month by month basis. You're going back and updating these things. But one thing that we do as well with our customers and legacy farmers, we push them once they go through, and let's say that we get through January, they go back and they update their actuals for January, right? They get their numbers from their bookkeeper, go in, plug those numbers into Farmer Metrics. And one thing that we do is we push them to go ahead and send that off to their banker. The reason is because it's not because the banker's requesting it, but it's just because we want the banker to know that we know our numbers, right? And that we are on top of our numbers. And that's what I'm talking about when I say the gap that exists between farmers and bankers. You have to be getting your banker the information that they are going to need to make them not have any question about you, right? You want to present yourself as just a grade A customer that is a slam dunk or a home run client for the bank. And when you present your numbers in this way, and there's one other way that we talk about inside of Legacy Farmer 2 called knowing your borrowing power, right? And presenting those numbers as well. When you present your numbers this way to your banker, guys, it completely removes any barriers there. You're going to create a great relationship. But the most important thing is you are going to have all the power and the leverage inside of that relationship. You are going to be able to demand the best interest rates, the best loan structure, and terms of any deal that you have there. Because deep down, when you are this structured financially, right, and you understand how the bank looks at things and how they make decisions and things like that, you control the power and leverage, and that bank better do whatever they can to keep you. Because at the end of the day, when you are this structured and organized financially, you can go to any bank in the region and they will be happy to have you. Guys, think about it from the bank's perspective. They want simple customers that are going to be home runs for them as far as earning an interest rate or a return on their investment. So present yourself in that way, right? And again, a majority of farmers or ranchers today, they don't know how to do this. And this is the number one thing that we focus on to specialize in inside of Legacy Farmer is I want our customers to know exactly how the bank plays the game, exactly what numbers the bank is looking at to make decisions and to determine interest rates or loan structure or whatever that is. And I want to show them how to combat that, right? And how to argue that to make sure that our customers have all the power and the leverage, and it just forms a really good relationship between the farmer and the banker, and just it's a win for both parties. And I've talked about this in other podcasts before as well, guys. I only believe in win-win scenarios, right? I don't believe in this idea that, hey, in order for me to win, somebody else has to lose. That's not the way the world should work, in my opinion. Now, for some people, yeah, they definitely look at business that way. That's not the way I look at it, right? If we bring in a new customer into Legacy Farmer, it needs to be a win for them and it needs to be a win for us. Same with your banker as well. It needs to be a win-win relationship there. So my friends, hopefully at the end of the day, if you have some gaps here, right? If you're looking and you're like, man, I got some holes. I don't understand how the bank is looking at these things. I don't know how to present my numbers to them so I can get the best interest rates or the best deals. I just don't know how to create that great relationship. Then guys, have a look at Legacy Farmer. Go to our website, legacyfarmer.com, do some research and build your own conviction into what we are doing here, and look at our reviews and look at our case studies and things like that. Because guys, we put years into this. This isn't just like something we just came up with overnight. We're literally 5 years into this thing right now. And if you've listened to my podcast over that time frame, you've kind of seen the transition, right, and where we've grown and things like that, and the type of results that we've been able to get people. So make sure you do your research there. But at the end of the day, if there's a gap there and there's a massive gap between you and your banker, you got to do something about it. And it comes into learning the numbers and learning how to present them in a way to where you're answering any potential questions for your banker, but you're also showing your banker, hey, I'm on top of my numbers. I know them better than you do. And just so you know, with me knowing them so well, I can go to any bank in the region, which is why you better take care of me, right? And so again, it's not to do that from a negative point of view, but to literally just build a really positive relationship between you and your banker. So my friends, that concludes today's episode. I hope you found it valuable, and we will catch you on the next one.
What's up, everyone? My name is Jace Young. I'm the founder of a company called Legacy Farmer, and inside of that company, what we do is we've helped over 300 family farms simplify and streamline the entire financial side of their operation and help them learn their numbers at a deep level so that they can implement the systems and the processes to make sure that their operation lives on for generations into the future.